Hey, good evening, Kingdom community. It is Peppa. I hopped on just a minute or two early to give folks a chance to join us and to give those who do join us a minute to kind of just settle in and get ready for our time together. It feels like it's been a minute since I have been live and been in touch with everybody, and I think realistically, I just have been riding the pandemic wave like I'm sure so many of you have been. So as we get ready for tonight, I want to encourage you to just take a moment and take a few deep breaths in and just feel your chest rise and fall. In these past few days, as the weather has been brutal, I have found that I almost felt like I was holding my breath, waiting to see if we would have power, waiting to see if we would have water, waiting to see what needs would arise from community and from the people in our lives. So as you hop on, say hello. If you feel led, send this to someone. This is going to be pretty short because I want to try and conserve energy. I turned a light on in here, and so as we get started tonight, if you have soil from like a house plant and some water, if you want to get that and make a little mix, or if you're like me and don't have house plants, which I didn't really think about until today, house plants that I can go readily grab some dirt from, I am using hand cream because I think the whole point is just to connect with your body in a different way. So you'll want that as we start into our Ash Wednesday meditation. And as we do, I am going to light a candle and just invite us to take a couple of breaths. Take a deep breath in. Inhale gratitude. And if you can, exhale anxiety. Woo. Take another deep breath in. And inhale warmth. And if you can, exhale the chill. I hope this finds you all doing well. I hope it finds you safe and warm. And if you are not safe and warm and you need someplace to be, please send me a message or comment here and we will get you connected with resources. So it's important to me that you all are doing well. So today is Ash Wednesday. Today is the first Sunday of the Christian tradition of Lent. And in our tradition, in the Christian tradition, the 40 days of Lent are a time of reflection and penitence, of repentance, of quiet, and of maybe learning and listening as we journey with Jesus to the cross and to the tomb. And this year, what struck me so firmly is that it was at this time last year that we were all still getting to know one another as Kingdom community. And it was at this time last year that the world really began to shut down for what we thought would be maybe a few weeks. And here we are a year later. So again, I need to name that this is not how I imagined this would go. I had hoped that we would be gathered together in a room somewhere quietly with music playing, and I would have the ability to come to each of you and put the sign of the cross or a dot or whichever you preferred as a sign of blessing and a reminder that you are loved. But what I also love and need to name is that today is not simply a day for Christians. And no matter how much I had hoped that things would be one way, they're not that way. And I think there's grace in that. There is grace in the fact that nothing looks as we might have hoped. And this year, as we approach Ash Wednesday, I'm grateful for the opportunity to reflect and to really feel connected to the earth and to creation. And here in Texas, I can tell you that this week, the earth has made itself very known. And the earth is telling us some things that if we pay attention and listen, we might be able to connect in ways that can help prolong the earth for those who come behind us. And today, I also acknowledge that Ash Wednesday is a day about mortality. It's about confronting the fragility of human life, and it's about stepping into the realization that we will not be here forever. So as we enter into this Ash Wednesday service, and as we share some meditation and a little bit of ritual together, I wanted to share with you what I will be reading from. This year for Lent, I'm going to be reading this book. It's called Queering Lent. It's by a poet named Slats Toole. And they are a queer, trans, non-binary pastor, which, if I'm honest, we don't get to say too often, that someone is both a pastor and queer and trans and non-binary. So I am thrilled to highlight Slats' voice and to lift up their words tonight and each day throughout the series of the next 40 days of Lent. So I will either go live each day or I will post a poem for the day on Facebook and on Instagram so that people can be connected. So as we journey in to the season of Lent, let us start at the beginning with poem 1 from Slats Toole. I have never once forgotten that I am dust. When he was a boy, my father thought he was invincible. He remembers the moment he realized he could die, and one day he would die. Not me. I live in a body the world is determined to destroy. They erase my image in the mirror. They attack me with pictures of what I should be. They fence me in and lock me out. They hand me the tools to do it myself, because that is so much cleaner. But if they need to, they'll just shoot me. I've always known this as long as I can remember, and I'm caught occasionally by the world's undertow, which is stronger than you could imagine, which pulls bodies like mine under and never lets us come up for air. I have stared death in the face and said, please. You are not the one who wants me dead. You are the one who wants me alive and has fought for my life for years, even when I have no idea why. It has always been you, insistent and pleading, pulling me towards life. And the truth I wear on my forehead today is this. I live in a body made of ashes. It is at once fragile and resilient. It is easily torn apart, but never destroyed. It is built from the ruins. It carries with it the history of generations and incubates a new creation. In its death and in its life, it is yours. So friends, as we hear that poem, that first poem, may we remember that we are both fragile and resilient, and some of us more easily than others, torn apart but not destroyed. And I would invite you now to go ahead and take either your soil or the oil that you might have, or if you are like me, a little bit of hand lotion. And rather than make a mark on your forehead, unless you want to make a mark on your forehead, I'm choosing this year to put the mark on my hand. So I'm making the mark of the cross on my hand. And I would invite you to sit with that and hear the words that from soil and dust you have come, and from soil and dust you shall return. And hear too that we are made of light. Light, like I lit our candle at the beginning, the light that was with God at the very beginning of creation. We are made of light and of dust, of mess and of miracles. So if you have oil or lotion on your hands, feel free, just take a moment and take a deep breath in and exhale, and let that oil or lotion nourish your body. And if you've used soil, maybe give yourself a moment to feel its grit in your hands or on your forehead. And may you walk away knowing that you have been in touch with your body and in touch with the very creation of God. And as we close tonight, I want to offer a poem and a blessing that I've kind of put together, a poem by Kathy Galloway and a blessing by Jan Richardson. Ashes, powdery, gray from keeping on trying to get a spark from two stones. Streaky black from relighting a candle that keeps going out. Soft white from a fire that burned down to its heart and kept everyone warm. These are the ashes worth wearing. This is the day we freely say we are scorched. This is the hour we are marked by what has been made through the burning. This is the moment where we ask for the blessing that lives within ancient ashes, that makes its home inside the soil of this sacred earth. So let us be marked not for sorrow, and let us be marked not for shame. Let us be marked not for false humility or for thinking we are less than we are, but for claiming what God can do within the dust, within the dirt, within the stuff of which the world is made, and the stars that blaze in our bones, and the galaxies that spiral inside the smudge we bear. So as we go from this place, remember that we are made of light and dust, of mess and miracles. And that even on this journey where we will inevitably end up in the tomb, we are called to life. By the God who thought enough to create us, we are called to life in the tiny miracles that accompany us on the journey. So as we go, I'm going to change the light so that it may go with us from this place, inspiring us, calling us anew, leading us to life together. You are deeply loved, and I'm looking forward to sharing this Lenten journey with each of you. You're loved. Take care.